hear the claps, the lights come on, I'm like, okay, here we go. And I get up there and I'm going, what is going on in my body? And I'm thinking like, is this food poisoning? What is going on? Am I having a heart attack? And all I want to do is fucking throw my bass off and get off stage as soon as possible and go to the hospital because I'm thinking I'm dying. I'm Brendon Love. I play bass in a band called Teskey Brothers. Mental health for me has been something that's run in my family and that I've always been aware of. It's always been this kind of background hum, you know, this sort of low-level thing, but it was always manageable for me. The lowest point, I think, was we did a show in London in this beautiful chapel. The dream gig. And I was there just completely unhappy and dissociative to the moment almost. Like, I don't actually even remember the gig. I just remember I was just standing there just playing, and almost the feeling of people cheering was making it worse, as I felt so shit about myself that I felt like I didn't deserve the validation or praise from anyone, and so that made me feel worse. And I saw pictures from the gig, and I just like looked at my face on stage and I went, okay, wow.
Yeah, I remember this gig.
What am I doing? Like, I'm trying to keep this thing going, but I'm actually making it so much worse on every level.
It sometimes is a really tough conversation, and it can feel like you're letting the team down to say, I'm not up to my best, and no one wants to let the team down. These guys are really, you know, proud of what they do, and they're proud of who they are and what they've achieved. So it can be really hard to confront when there's a problem.
If I had have just been like, hey, guys, I'm really struggling. That was all it took as well.
Well, we have meetings which I've called open hearts, which are not business meetings. Sometimes it's a very light conversation, a casual conversation. Sometimes when someone really feels like they need to share something and something's going on, then it's that opportunity to share. It's a safe space, basically.
Jeremy played a massive role in this whole journey. He was really sort of the one that I confided in first, because I guess I had such a fear about, if I say what's going on, am I going to be kicked out of the band? Like, am I going to lose my job? He's like, if we just talk about this, you'd be surprised at how many people care about you. That in itself was just one of the most healing things, was just to feel that, yeah, wow, these people do care about me and they forgive me for how I acted as well. So I first heard about Support Act actually when I was having a pretty rough time. I was on tour, and probably that call was the start of my whole journey, I suppose, of getting better and learning about, you know, the resources available. They helped me get on a mental health plan with my GP, and through that into therapy. And so, yeah, I mean, for me, that was the first port of call. The biggest help for my mental health, and I think probably for a lot of people, is just routine. You know, we make sure that the tour manager knows we need to eat proper food, you know. We can't just have McDonald's at 11 o'clock at night. We're lucky enough that we can sort of get our own hotel rooms now, so that you can have some space, get proper rest. And yeah, so I guess the whole tour is kind of routed around the idea of all of our well-being, it's physical and mental. And so I guess having a team that understands that is so important.
I guess in the early days, you know, we didn't know what we were doing, and the band had very little money, so tour was really brutal. As things developed, we got a better understanding of what the guys need on the road to survive, for their mental health, for the show, for the team to work. There are a lot of people that are dealing with it that feel they can't speak out, and so helping people feel comfortable to talk about it, I think, is a huge thing. I guess the biggest tool I have now is the understanding that it does pass, and that it's a real thing, and you know, you do get low and sad, or you do get anxious. Sometimes you just have to weather it and breathe through it. But even just that knowledge, I think for me, was such a huge weight off my shoulders, to know that it's not just me dealing with this, a lot of people do, and it does pass.